So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, many men have found themselves in situations where they've been ruined, absolutely ruined because of their inability to stay away from a Jezebel. And I was just thinking about this, man, a couple of days ago, man, and just thinking over the scenarios I know of women who were supposedly in relationships with men and men trusted them and they were out doing the men dirty. And unfortunately, some of those times I was the man who enabled the woman to do that thing, that unscrupulous act of betrayal and infidelity. But I want y'all to understand one thing, man. If you've ever been involved in that situation with another man's wife, man, and you came out of it, you know, fairly scot-free. Of course, there's always spiritual debts to pay. But I mean, with your health intact. There are many men who are, you know, living and dying with HIV and AIDS behind that. There are many men who are carrying herpes around like luggage that you can never get rid of. There are many men who are paralyzed. And there are some men who are no longer with us. But I want to tell y'all about one particular story that I know of and get into the background and foundation of why this happens and who wins in these scenarios. Guy didn't lose his life, but he lost his sight. Matter of fact, he lost his eyes completely. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff.
I know you told me not to come over here because your husband may be here, but I miss you. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to just go home and not have nothing to do. As a matter of fact, you was the one who said I love you first. It was about 8 weeks ago.
Now, the first thing I want y'all to understand is this. What you see in this video may be a skit, it may not. The bottom line is when you see a skit, it's only a popular skit because it represents real life. But what we see here, man, is the same type of scenario that I'm talking about with this guy who ended up getting his eyes shot out of his head, man. He was messing with this man's woman, and cheating with a married woman is enough. But when you get so comfortable that you start doing it publicly, you start doing it in areas where the man can see, you start doing it in disrespectful ways where you come into the man's house or you call in the man's house or you confronting the man about his woman, at some point, it's going to be very costly to you. And in this scenario, man, this guy told this guy several times, leave my wife alone, brother. And he pretty much said, nah, that's our wife. You have your time with her, I have my time with her. The only problem is it wasn't both of their wife. It was the husband's wife. This guy was a side dude. And let me tell you something about the side dude energy. A side dude is a man that a woman wouldn't have as her man, but she enjoys spending time with him and he's able to fill in what she can't get from the man she's with. See, there are women who will just accept the 20% they can't get. You know, the 80-20 rule. There are women who will accept the 20% they can't get from their man and say, okay, I'm just gonna be cool with that because I know that I'm only giving him 80% as well. But that's not the majority of women. The majority of women want to get the 80% from you and then they want to go get the 20% from another man. Here's the problem. The 20% that she's getting from the other man, he's not getting anything in return because a woman will come and be with a side dude and give him nothing but intimacy. Physical intimacy, not even emotional intimacy or any of that, just physical intimacy. But he's going to do more than that. You understand? He's at least going to pay for a room, or he's going to cook for her, or he's going to buy her stuff, or he's going to take her on a trip. Eventually, the man starts to get into the mindset that that's his woman. But here's the thing. Another man's wife can never be your woman. But men seem to think that that's a possibility. And when you're a side dude, you'll take the time that a woman can steal away from her husband or her man to be with you. You know how lowly you think of yourself to say that I'm so low that this woman can give that other man all the best of her, and whatever she'll give me is what I deserve. So if that's seeing you once a month, once every 2 months, if that's talking to you while she on her way home from work every day for that 10 or 15 minutes. See, it caters to the fact that men like to be in a routine. You understand? Men like to be in a routine. You see, the bottom line is this, man. Women will take whatever you'll give them, no matter how much damage it's going to do to you. She doesn't care that her husband is threatening to kill you. She don't like you like that anyway. You the side dude. She don't like him like that because she messing with the side dude, even though the side dude to start confronting him. You know what kind of woman you have when the side dude she's messing with confronts you about her, y'all into it about her, and she still keep messing with the dude. Now, in some of these scenarios, the woman will cut the man loose once things hits the fan, but then he won't let go. He'll still keep chasing and calling and sending the woman flowers and showing up at her crib. You know why? Because he done fell in love with another man woman. But not real love, evil attachment love, Jezebel spirit love. The type of spiritual tie that he can't even get rid of even if he wanted to. But that's one of the problems that happens when you find yourself interacting with another man's woman. Any man who's interacting with another man's woman can tell you that if he does it for an extended period of time, an attachment develops. He starts to become fond of her, right? Because she fits into a routine in his life. We are creatures of habits. As men, we are creatures of habit. And so anything that performs or fits into the habitual lifestyle that we have created for ourselves and slides into our routine with ease, that thing is going to be very important to us. And we're going to value that thing more than we value those things outside of our routine. That's just the way we're built as men. So you got to keep in mind, man, that when you're in a situation like this, the woman is always going to win, because in this scenario, the husband put that iron on the side dude. The side dude lost his vision, lost his eyes. Now, he can't see. They had to take his eyes out of his head. He ain't even got no eyes in his sockets no more. He walk around with his eyes shut closed. And the husband is gone to prison. What is the wife doing? She's not a wife anymore. She's an ex-wife now. And she's out here living her best life with 1, 2, 3, 4, however many more suckers right now. And guys are dealing with her and not even knowing that she has contributed to the destruction of 2 men's lives because of her Jezebel tendencies. You have to avoid the Jezebel because it'll have you doing silly things like we see in this video. And whether this is a skit or not doesn't matter. You know men who've cheated with other men's wives. I know men who've cheated with other men's wives. Some of us have cheated with other men's wives. And some of you women have cheated with other men while you have a husband. So we know that infidelity is not something that we're making up right here. We know that this exists. We know that it happens. And we know that it happens on a regular. And it always ends bad for the men. Every blue moon, you'll hear a story about a woman getting jammed up in the middle of this. But more times than not, it ends bad for the men, because one ends up losing his life, his sight, his health, his wealth, or something else. And the other ends up losing his freedom. And that's just how this goes. So you got a man who in his 40s got to live the rest of his life without even being able to see anything. The things that we take for granted until we don't have them anymore. Now, he never missed his vision until he ain't got it no more. Don't know how people dress him. Don't know nothing. Somebody can walk right up on him, man, and be ready to do something to him. He wouldn't even know it. He is totally reliant on people now because he lost those things that led him into temptation, led him into destruction. Now you have another man. He was married to the woman. Now he lost his freedom, lost his ability to earn. Of course, the woman got everything in the divorce. She was going to get everything anyway because you in prison. So she was able to divorce you, not on the hook to put nothing on your books or look out for you. Now you done tried to kill a man over this woman. This woman probably ain't even looking out for you, man. Putting nothing on your books, probably ain't been to visit you yet. This is the reality of the scenario, man. And I can guarantee you that the blind dude, I bet he ain't seen her since then. No pun intended. This is what happens when men allow their lower half to lead their brain. You are less than a man if you allow your lower half to lead you. That is absolutely animalistic. I'm talking about lower level intellect animal. That's what happens with bull male elephants when they go crazy out there and be trampling people and attacking people, have that testosterone oozing out of their ears. That's what happens with them. They're being led by their lower half. But they're animals. Their instinctive inclination is to mate. But us, we have a high level of intelligence, so we're supposed to. But as evidenced in this story, it doesn't always happen because we allow our lower halves to lead us, which pulls us out of our logical mind state and pulls us out of our spiritual awareness and throws us strictly into an animalistic physical state of existence. Men always lose when it's the Jezebel you choose. Whether you choose to wife her or you choose to side dude dice her, it's always going to end bad for you with the Jezebel. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.